Welcome. This is Melissa Duncan. I'm the Assistant Dean for Career and Student Development at Elon Law, and I'm presenting this webinar on job searching tools for law students. So, a lot of times students come to the Office of Career and Student Development and they feel frustrated because they are looking at simplicity and they feel like they can't find either their practice area or their geographic practice or their geographic area or some combination of the two, and they feel like there aren't many options out there. Of course, it's important to keep in mind that there are many ways to look for a job, and simplicity is only a very small sliver of the options that are out there for students to apply to as far as opportunities go. So we want you to think big picture, get out of simplicity as far as, that being the only place that you're looking, and start broadening your horizons. So yes, you can look on simplicity, but there's also other job posting websites. You can look on LinkedIn, you can apply to interview programs and job fairs. And then of course, more importantly, you should be networking. And so we've given you just some ideas of places and with people with whom you can network. So your preceptor, family members, friends of friends, or friends of your family members. You need to ask your family members what attorneys they might know in the community, alumni of Elon Law, and then other attorneys that you meet by attending networking opportunities such as CLEs or bar association meetings. So as far as online resources go, because this is where I think a lot of students get kind of tripped up as far as where to go online to look for jobs, if that is a part of their job search that they want to pursue, there are plenty of job posting sites and resources. You just need to know where to look. So where you need to look actually depends on the practice area that you're interested in. So we have a lot of these sites available via the Office of Career and Student Development in the Career Resources Library on Simplicity. So some of those websites actually require a special password that the school pays for. And so you need to log into the Career Resources Library, find the link and the password in our password protected site that is Simplicity, and then you'll be able to access the external website where you can do your job searching. If you have a question about that or how to find one, I'm going to go through some of them here, but you can always stop into drop-in hours and we'd be happy to help you find the password that you're looking for. So one thing that you could consider pursuing as far as potential job opportunities would be looking at bar association websites. The American Bar Association is grouped by practice areas online, and so you could find attorneys in the practice area that you're interested in, and you would find hopefully some resources throughout the country that you might be looking for as far as networking opportunities. You can also join the Young Lawyers Division of the American Bar Association and the Law Student Division. And you do have a free membership as an Elon Law student to the American Bar Association. So you are automatically a member. I've provided the link to the job search page for the ABA, but of course you can go there directly and get on their listserv as far as the job postings that go out. I think it's every week, and you can set those preferences so that you get those emails and you're able to see what's out there from the ABA. There's also the North Carolina Bar Association, and they send out a weekly email with job opportunities throughout North Carolina. And then, of course, if you're not interested in North Carolina, you could consider trying to get a free student membership to the state bar association where you plan to practice. So, for example, Virginia or Georgia or whatever state you're interested in, you could contact the bar association in that state and ask whether or not you can sign up for a free student membership and whether or not that membership comes with some sort of job posting resource similar to what the North Carolina Bar Association provides in their weekly emails. If you are doing an out-of-state job search, there are some resources available to you online because it is difficult to do networking out of state when you're here in school for most of the year. So there's a resource called the BYU, that's Brigham Young University, Intercollegiate Job Bank. And so this is a resource that Elon Law has signed up for, and there's a little bit of a give and take here. So the participating law schools all provide a monthly update of their Simplicity postings. So you could log into this website, and for any participating school, you should see a pretty updated list of their Simplicity postings. Because Elon participates so that we can have access to these postings for our students, what that means is we also have to provide our Simplicity postings. So other students from other law schools can see ours, but this allows you to see the postings from all the other law schools that are participating. So I've provided a link there, the URL for the website, but you need to go into the Elon Law Career Network, which is Simplicity, and in the Career Resources Library, you can just search BYU, and we have provided the username and password. It does change pretty regularly, and we update it there when it does change, but that's why it's not provided here on this PowerPoint. If you are getting ready to graduate, or if you've just graduated, a great resource to consider is asking for reciprocity at another law school. This is one time per school, so you cannot ask for this at a law school and then wait a few months and then go back to that same law school and ask for reciprocity again. And you can only request one school at a time, and we can only have one student at a particular law school at a time. But what this looks like is you usually get about 90 days of online Simplicity access to another law school's job board or whatever system that they use, and it allows you to log on to their Simplicity page and see their job postings for 90 days, and often see their career resources library and whatever they make available to students as far as an online job search goes. This is really valuable for especially our graduates who are doing an out-of-state job search, because as you might imagine, online postings on a law school's website are usually pretty geographic, as far as they're focused on the geographic location where the law school is. If this is something that you're interested in, Elon Law must request this on your behalf. So you cannot make this request on your own. We have to make it for you, and we're happy to do that, but you need to schedule an appointment with someone in our office to get that set up. If you are interested in going into the public interest or nonprofit world, there are some resources available to you, and I've listed some of these here. They're free, so with PSJD, that's Public Service JD, but the website is psjd.org. You can create a free account and have access to a job board, Equal Justice Works, Idealist, and then the nonprofit job boards. So there is a North Carolina Center for Nonprofits that lists a job board, but then you can often find other listings by state. So you could look up the state that you're interested in and see if they have a similar website for nonprofits. If you're interested in government jobs, these are some options that are available to you. usajobs.gov is the federal government's official employment website. The state of North Carolina has a similar web page. Arizona Handbooks also has a special password, and that is listed in Simplicity in the Career Resources Library. But that the Arizona Handbooks provides a government honors and internship handbook and a public policy handbook. So those are great opportunities. And if you sign up for those listservs, then you get a regular email with the new postings and the ones that have a deadline that's coming up. And then CEI Internships is a listing online of internship opportunities. And as a law school, we pay for membership to that so that you can see those opportunities. For clerkships, if you're interested in a federal clerkship, you have access to the Oscar system, which is the online system for clerkship application and review. And you have access on July 1st after your 2L year. And they also have some online guides for students as far as applying to federal clerkships. So that's a great place to go online and manage your federal clerkship application process. If you're interested in a state judicial clerkship, the Vermont Guide is something that has been put together by Vermont Law School, and that is another password that's updated regularly. So we have made that password available through the Elon Law Career Network, which is Simplicity, on the resource library. And you can log in and see the guides to state judicial clerkships throughout the country. For law firms, of course, you can look on Simplicity for local law firms that have posted opportunities, but here are some websites that you could look at. So Martindale Hubbell is an online directory of law firms, so it's not necessarily just a job board, but you could go there to get some ideas for firms that you might want to reach out to, or if you are submitting an application, you could go there to find out more about the firm. If maybe they don't have a very fulsome website for the firm, then you might be able to find out more on Martindale Hubbell. LinkedIn, many law firms have an employer page and they post job opportunities there. Chambers Associate is an online law firm directly. That's mostly large firms. So you're not going to find a lot of small to mid-sized firms there. But if you're interested in a law firm, then that's a great place to look. And then, of course, the various bar association directories, because a lot of those, if you can get online access to them, they will list the attorneys who are members and their contact information. All right, so if you were able to find a job online, and even better, if you have found someone who you know in person who can, who is willing for you to list their name in the cover letter. So perhaps, you are going to apply to the law firm of Duncan, Mincarini, and Dooley, and you know that there's someone else who is able to provide a recommendation for you because they know someone in the law firm of Duncan, Mincarini, and Dooley, then that would be a great place to make an introduction of yourself that really stands out. So no matter whether you know someone who can make that introduction for you or not, your cover letter is your introduction. So this is where you want to really kind of, pack a lot of punch as far as getting their attention. You want it to be professional. So you want to make sure that you have printed it out, reviewed it for spelling and grammatical errors, because that is the easiest path to the trash can as far as your cover letter goes. But assuming that it is well written, you want to follow up appropriately and keep applying to other jobs. So don't submit 2 applications and then sit back and wait. You want to constantly be applying to opportunities to maximize your chances of finding something that you really are excited about for the summer or for postgraduate work. And if you are struggling with your cover letter, which is very, very common, you should not be ashamed of that. If a cover letter is hard for you, it's hard for most people. So feel free to schedule an appointment with the Office of Career and Student Development, because we would be more than happy to sit down with you and review your cover letter and work through some of those challenging components of a cover letter so that you are submitting the strongest application possible. But remember the golden rule: networking, also known as building professional relationships, is the number one way to get a job. So most jobs reported by law school graduates are found through an in-person contact that the student or graduate has. You are not going to find that most jobs are obtained through online websites or through Simplicity. Most jobs are found because they know someone. So if the word networking scares you, think of it as building professional relationships. And if we can do anything to help with that, please come in for an appointment. So anytime you are proceeding with the job search process or the application process and you have questions, feel free to schedule an appointment with the Office of Career and Student Development. If it's a very quick question and you anticipate that it's about 5 minutes or so, we're more than happy to meet with you during our drop-in hours, which take place almost every day. And we are happy to help you however we can. And we hope that we can be supportive during your job search. Thanks for watching this webinar.